Chapter 15, Maid of Honor. Yundirian successfully escaped Lucia and Shannon's wedding for his family's coastal vacation home, only to pick up the runaway bride on your way out. Are we... Shh! We don't want to wake up Lucia. She's such an early riser. This week must have really taken a toll for her to be sleeping in like this. Okay, but are we going to tell anyone that she's with us? Not Shannon, obviously, but maybe Benny or Ellie? It's a valid question, and one you cannot ponder before you've had your coffee. You pour the cups for both of you, and then gesture over the living room couch so you can cuddle and enjoy along with the spectacular view while you talk at normal volume. You sigh deeply as you look out over the water, thinking about the night before. We can't leave yet. I know our plan was to go to the airport first thing after coffee, but I'm worried about Lucia. She didn't say one word after getting into the car, and she passed out in the guest room the second we got here. You don't want to abandon her, I get it. I wouldn't want to abandon anyone to the misery that is Shannon either, let alone my best friend. He does that. He does get it, but which you appreciate more than words can say. And he's so easy to talk with, which is why you ask him the question that's been burning in your brain since the night before. Do you think this means she forgives me? I mean, she left with us. That has to mean something. I'd say so. She's not planning to avoid you forever. Some rest will be good for her. She'll wake up, she'll have coffee, and you two will chat. What if she wants to fly home with us? That might be above my pay grade. Anyway, there's plenty of time to fix things between you two and get her back to Shannon, so for now, let's just relax. Relax, you say. What a foreign concept. But you rest your head on his shoulder and sigh as you look out at the beautiful view. It feels wrong to be this happy when Lucy is going through such a rough time, but I am really happy with you, Darian. I can't wait to put this all behind us so we can start our relationship on the right foot. Darian tips up your chin and kisses you deeply, smirking against your lips before pulling a hair's breadth away. We could always get a head start right now. In fact, as far as I know, no one's ever hooked up on the father's pristine couch, but there's a first time for everything. Isn't your best friend and her technical family member in the next room on the guest couch or whatever? Listen, we know where this is gonna go. Keep cuddling. You laugh and give Darian a playful little shove. Careful not to spill your coffee. No, I will not be sleeping with you while my best friend is right down the hall. But points for trying. You know she was right down the hall the entire time we were at the resort. Darian. Alright, I can respect a woman with class, I suppose. I should hope so. You curl back into his side and continue to sip as you watch the waves crash to shore, waiting for Lucy to wake up. After a long while longer lounging in the living room, you hear the sound of a door opening. You and Darian sit up straighter and smooth out your clothing. You look up to see Lucy emerge from the guest room, groggy, still wearing the clothes she passed out in last night. Hey guys, good morning. Lucia, let's get you some coffee or pancakes or... She holds up a hand to stop you. I'm okay, really, thank you. A good night's sleep helped a lot. I don't think I've slept that much since I was an infant. You follow her in the kitchen and pour her a cup of coffee. Anyway, while she takes a seat at the breakfast table. Still, take milk and sugar? Yes, please. Darian shoots you a glance, silently asking what to do next, and you give him a little shrug before cautiously joining her and gesturing for Darian to do the same. The quiet hangs heavy in the air, broken only by Lucia's sporadic sips from her mug, until finally she sighs. I got your letter. It meant a lot to me, Lennox. She covers your hand with hers and squeezes it tightly. I realize that there was no way I could get married if you weren't part of the ceremony. You're flooded with guilt, even as your heart warms at the sentiment. Lucia, You don't have to apologize again, Lennox. You were treated terribly all week by Mr. Farrell, my mother, Shannon. Of course, you'd want to leave. It's just... She trails off, looking sadly into the depths of her coffee. Lucia, are you okay? Yes, no, I don't know. This week hasn't gone anything like I planned. I know, I hate my role in that, but this coming here with us, is this about you needing more space, or is there something else to it? Lennox, you leaving, it made me realize how backwards all my future plans are. How can I have a wedding, a marriage, where my husband can't even stand to be in the same room as my best friend and her partner? It's a good question. Oh, Lucia. Shannon's behavior was so jarring, and I tried to excuse it. He's under so much stress, but he treated you horribly, and I didn't do anything to stop it. You tried, though. I heard you. Not hard enough. I should have taken a step back and given real thought to what might have gotten through to him. And don't even get me started on Alice. I can't understand what was going through her head with that bonkers PI idea. You've never heard Lucia talk this way about her mother, and it's strangely validating. I'm seriously considering going with no contact with her for the way she acted this week. And really, I should have considered that a long time ago. You're my family, and you should have been protected. You can't stand to listen to another minute of Lucia's apology without flying into her arms. It feels so good to be back on the solid ground with her, and to know that she understands how you're feeling, that she's listened. For what it's worth, though, Sam, I'm really sorry for my part in riling Shannon up. She smiles weakly at him. It's clear she hasn't been holding a grudge. I just don't know what to do. I should offer kind support. It's totally okay to feel unsure about things right now. It's been a hard week. I'm glad you got some time away, though. However, hopefully a little space will give you some clarity. And selfishly, I'm really glad we got time to talk and clear the air. I'm glad about that, too. Well, here's a question. Do you still love Shannon? Absolutely. If he were receptive to a conversation about it, a real one, maybe we could talk things out and fix it. Hell, maybe even Darian and Shannon could finally put everything behind them. I just wish I knew how to get him receptive to talk, because so far every time I've tried to talk to him about you two, it's just been a disaster. That's because I think your mother and his family is playing a part in it. Darren gives Lucy a sympathetic look that makes you fall just a little bit harder for him. You know, before this week, I never thought I would have thought it was possible for me and Shannon to mend fences. But then I fell in love with someone in less than a week, so stranger things have happened. Your heart warms in your chest at the easy way those words fall from his lips. Maybe it's worth a shot, and if he and I can fix things, the two of you definitely can. You know, now that you mention it, I'm dying to hear more about what brought you two together. It was a plane ride. That's all we'll go with. There's so much you're dying to share with Lucy, and maybe this is the opportunity you've been waiting for to hash it all out. We could get everything out all in the open, and once and for all, I should absolutely tell her everything. Tell her absolutely everything. It's a long story. Maybe we should move somewhere more comfortable. Three of you move into the living room, with Lucia taking an armchair and you settling in next to Darian on the couch. So first things first, we met when we were seated next to each other on the plane, and we got to talking. I'd just broken up with Alex, and I was kind of a mess. A cute mess, but yeah, a little bit. Hey, but yes, and I was stressing about the dateless, and Darian was just very flattering and sympathetic, and, well, it didn't hurt that he's hot. You're not sure who smiles more widely at that, Lucy or Darian. Anyway, we clicked, and I really didn't want to go to your wedding without a date, because you and Shannon are always so worried about me, and you didn't know anything about Alex, or that we'd broken up, so I figured, why not put our minds at ease and have some fun at the same time? It's me. I'm the fun. Yeah, I got that part. But I think you could have been honest with me. Lucia, you're right. I should have been. I can't apologize for that enough. I thought I was helping, but I should have known you value honesty above all. I have to admit, it was really hard not to be able to talk to you about it when I realized I was falling for Darian. I would have loved to be there for that. Don't worry. I'm definitely not done talking your ear off about him. Should I be worried? Lucia laughs, and you feel a weight lift from your shoulders. In fairness, I think you're probably right. I would have fussed over you, and you would have hated it. I've only ever wanted you to be happy, and I didn't realize how suffocating my being the mom friend could be. I'm sorry. And I certainly want you to find happiness and love, even if your methods are a little unconventional. That's one way to put it. Feeling more relaxed now, you slip a hand into Darian's, and he rubs a thumb casually over your knuckles, sending a little shiver through you. Actually, I do have a question. I've always wanted to ask, but I've never been brave enough to do it. It feels like maybe this is the right time. Of course, ask me anything. Why did you break up with Shannon? I should answer honestly. Shannon has incredible drive, but sometimes it makes him look down on people who he doesn't live up to his definition of success. Darian opens his mouth, presumably to agree wholeheartedly, but you silence him with a look. There's only so much brutal truth she needs right now. I guess I just had a hard time ever feeling like I measured up to his expectations, and after a while, I didn't feel like I didn't like how I felt around him, period. But you're so great, you could never fall short of anyone's expectations. I knew he'd love you, exactly as you were, and I was right. I can't argue with that, and thank you for your honesty. Also, to be clear, I really do not have feelings for Shannon anymore. I know what it sounded like at the karaoke. Oh, please, I never doubted you on that front for a second. I'm just realizing there's a lot I don't know about the people I'm close to. Like your mom? A private investigator. What would make her even think of doing such a thing? Not to mention how ridiculous that accusation of holding me back was. You're the whole reason I met Shannon. You're my best friend. Always have been. Always will be. Everything she said was way off base. She turns to Darian, fixing him with a sincere look. I really do want to apologize to you. I've never reached out. I'm always taking Shan's word that there was no possible relationship to be had. But I should have questioned it, and I should have reached out. This is not what our first meeting should have been like. Well, at least it was, unforgettable. That part's definitely true, and I'm glad I met you, and I'm really glad the two of you found each other. I've never seen Lennox so happy. In truth, you've never been so happy, but that doesn't need to be said. You finally had a heart-to-heart with Lucia, opened up about everything. And judging by the way Darian's looking at me, he feels the same way. I'm glad things are out in the open now, but I still don't know what to do. I need time to think. Maybe I should make a pros and cons list about our potential marriage? How did you not do this before now? Lucia, no. I've seen pros and cons, Lucia, and it's always a sign that you're rapidly approaching rock bottom. What you need is a break from thinking. You gesture towards the beach where the sun sparkles on the waves, makes a gently gorgeous picture. How about you join Darian and me for a walk on the beach? Clear your head, take in the beautiful sights. She sighs, and you're afraid she's going to turn you down in favor of more spiraling, but finally she offers you a small smile. Okay, if you think it'll help. I definitely do. Let me go get dressed, and then we'll go. You're going on a beach. You don't really need to get dressed from what you're wearing. Come on now. God, it's so gorgeous out here. The island really is the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. Isn't it stunning? I fell in love with it within my very first minute here. Shannon had always told me about how beautiful it was, but there's no way to prepare for what it looks like in person. I can't believe everything I've seen and gone to do here. I'm gonna miss it so much. Darian's arm wraps around your waist and pulls you close. This is definitely not going to be your last time here. I promise I'll bring you back. After all, now that I've signed Baby Blue, I'm gonna be making a few return trips. I'm gonna hold you to that, so you better make good on it. Oh, I will. So start thinking about where you want to revisit. I want to go back to the pub where I met your friends, club where you signed the band, bakery where we picked up the cake. That's a tough one. Figuring he likes music and stuff, we'll go with the club. It was a fun night, and I'd love to listen to more live music with you. Maybe even find another winner on the stage. I'll definitely be heading back there. Out of the corner of your eyes, you catch Lucia smiling brightly, which brings you no small amount of joy. What's got you so happy? Oh, the two of you, talking like a real couple. It's so great to hear after all these years. And it sounds like the two of you must have had real feelings for each other a lot longer than you were willing to admit. Your cheeks flush with heat at her call-out, and you wrestle how to change the topic. But Darian takes it in stride, lacing his fingers through yours. I think it's safe to admit now that I fell for Lennox, our very first night in Greece. The first night? Me too. Yeah? Are you kidding? All I wanted to do was kiss your stupid face off, but I had no idea you felt that way. And here I was afraid I was so obvious. Suddenly, Lucia stops in her tracks and flings her arms around Darian, pulling him into a warm hug. What's that for? I just really hope we can be in-laws. If Shannon and I can figure out how to get past this. Your heart twinges at that big if. I don't think this is proving to be the distraction we'd hoped for. Definitely time to lighten the mood. I mean, she's happy and gave him a hug. You grab Lucy's hand and dash over to the water, wading into the shallows and tugging her along with you. What the? You splash a handful of cold water right at her. You did not. She splashes you back at least as good as you gave, and in seconds you're engaged in an epic splash fight. Darian's laughter floats to you from the shore, where he's staying safely dry above the ankles while you and Lucia soak each other's clothing. You whack another wall of water in her direction, only to be knocked on your butt by a massive wave. Oh no, Lennox! Ah! Oh, gotcha. You take advantage of her concern to thwack the foamy water in her direction, startling her as it covers her face in droplets. Rude! You're in trouble, Lennox. But she cracks up and falls in the water right next to you, both of you laughing until your stomach hurts. When the laughter subsides, though, Lucy is left with a somber look on her face. I can't believe tonight is supposed to be my wedding night. I don't know, actually. You know what? Let's keep it here privately. Agreed. Not that I don't trust Arian. Obviously I do, but honestly, this whole thing... She takes a deep breath as she digs into the wet sand and lets the clumps fall from her fingers. I just need to keep as many other voices out of my head as possible and think about what I want. So, what do you think you want? I want to work things out with Shannon. I know that for sure. But at this point, I think it might be too late. You reach out and squeeze her hand. She clings to your fingers like they're offering a lifeline. I'll support you no matter what, Lucia. You're my best friend through and through. I appreciate that, Lennox. I just wish I knew where to start. Well, it might help if you let one more person in the conversation. Benny. Yep. In fact, we should probably get back to the house so you can give her a call. I have a feeling she'll have some thoughts on how to save the wedding. You make your way across the sand back to the house, holding out your arms to let the sun dry the ocean water from your skin. But you're barely through the back door when it hits you. Someone's here. How do you know? I can just tell. Someone has definitely... See, did you hear that? I did. What do we do? We should... hide. You and Lucia duck down behind the couch while Darian hides behind one of the floor-length curtains. I don't see anyone, do you? I don't, but someone is definitely in the house with us. We should call the cops. He pats down his clothes and frowns. I left my phone in our room. I have mine. I'll call 911. It's 100 here in Greece. Hand me your... Ah! A familiar figure emerges from the hallway and steps into the light. Quick, kill him! Shannon, what are you doing here? You and Darian exchange a wide-eyed look. Shannon is a total mess. Hair disheveled, harried expression on his face as he makes a beeline for Lucia. Instinctively, you move towards her for protection, but Shannon barely even seems to notice you. Lucia, we need to talk. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember that if you did enjoy the content, do like, share, and subscribe. Be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let me know your thoughts down below. What do I really need to say? Otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace out.